Alright fellas, so here in the next few hours, we're going to have update 2.0.5 rolling out, and we've got all the details here that's going to be covering it. So first up guys, let's break down Sandbox and what's happening to our exotic weapons. Malfeasance, you're going to get an increase in explosive shadow detonation damage. We're also going to get increased damage against Taken and Invaders. Definitely going to be a weapon we're going to be looking at again today. Wish Ender, we're going to get an increased base Wish Ender damage. They're also fixing an issue where Wish Ender's Broadhead perk would not activate properly, which would result in a loss of damage. Wish Ender's Queen's Wrath perk effects are now more readable and consistent. Needless to say, that is the intrinsic perk there guys. While aiming down sight with a fully drawn bow, enemies behind walls are highlighted. So I think this is just going to make it an easier weapon to use in terms of seeing enemies more, and it's going to be hitting a lot harder. So Wish Ender could potentially become the PvP bow that we were hoping for. Trace Rifles. A lot of Trace Rifle changes here. You're now going to spawn with 50 ammo in Crucible. You'll now benefit from the following armor perks: Auto Rifle Loader, Unflinching Auto Rifle Aim, Auto Rifle Targeting, Precision Weapon Targeting, and Auto Rifle Dexterity. They still did not say anything here about Scavenger perks. We're also getting an increase in sword damage in PvE, and increased fusion rifle damage in PvE, which I'm definitely interested about, considering I just got the Merciless Catalyst. So yeah, this one's going to be interesting. Proximity grenades now have a stat penalty to blast radius. Uh-oh. Pretty sure Bungie is seeing that we are discarding just about any grenade launcher in PvP that does not have proximity grenades, so this is their way to combat that. Reduce the amount of which Full Choke narrows projectile spread. Well, okay then. We knew at some point Bungie was going to start addressing shotguns. Full Choke is essentially the best barrel perk to get on your shotgun. It's like shot package. I am pleased to see this versus the other alternative, which is Bungie coming out and outright just nerfing all shotgun ranges, regardless of whatever role you come with, which would just result in everyone going for those god rolls even more. So I'm okay with that. They're also changing Dynamo and Distribution perks. Players will need to activate your class ability in the proximity of at least one enemy to gain the benefit. You're also getting an increase the energy gain by 20% to compensate for the slightly new requirement. Okay, that is really nice right there. We're gonna go into that in more depth after the Sandbox goes live, but that makes a huge difference by adding more to that energy gain. They also fixed an issue where Dynamo's effect was not scaling based on the player's class type. They said that Distribution perk had this, but it was unintentionally left out by Dynamo. So I think what it's trying to say right there, obviously in different things like rally barricades, or maybe more specifically rifts that have a much longer cooldown, will scale much higher in rewarding super energy or class ability energy when using those effects. Just know it's gonna scale, boys. It's gonna be good. Just be in proximity of some enemies. Now, some general stuff, guys. We're gonna get increased visibility through Titan Banner shields for allies. The White Nail perk should no longer occasionally activate before the player achieves the required number of precision hits. They also fixed an issue where Surus Regime Scope was that opaque yellow. Had a lot of people complaining about that. Also, Polaris Lance, the perfect 5th perk, was not triggering correctly, or not triggering at all, so now that issue is fixed. Okay, moving on to Crucible. Breakthrough. They decreased the attacker respawn time from 7 seconds to 5 seconds after the breaker's deployed. As you know, guys, you move to the middle of the map, you fight for control. Whoever takes control of that middle portion will then deploy the breaker. So this is a way of making sure that you're not going to put yourself at a disadvantage for winning the first point by having a quicker respawn time. Now, they modified the game rules here, guys, because they want to keep the rounds to going into that stalemate. So the initial fight over the breaker, the team with the most capture progress, the high watermark, will win the breaker if time runs out without any breaker progress present. There will still be an overtime if time runs out with progress present, and the breaker will go to the team with the current progress at the end of the 30 seconds, or to the higher watermark if progress reaches 0 with no players on the breaker. Okay, so what they're trying to say right there, if you go to that middle portion and you captured the 50%, but then the enemy team jumps on you and they captured it to 55%, but then you jump back on, it resets to 0, and y'all are just kind of just sitting there fighting over the point, and you're at that stalemate situation, that enemy team, after the time ends, will win that midpoint and deploy the breaker. Now, while a team is hacking the other team's vault, A progress decay accelerates gradually during the sudden death for up to 30 seconds, after which the round will end the moment no attackers are present in the capture zone. Now, it does state if the round ends in a draw twice, the match ends in a tie. Neither team will get glory points from this scenario, but win streaks are maintained. Whew, that is a lot of time wasted, boys. Play the OBJ. All right, moving on to Gambit. Sleeper Simulant now gains less ammo from heavy ammo crates on the wall in Gambit. It's now 2, it was 4. Honestly, I've been seeing a shortage of sleeper usage here lately. People with good RNG and Queenbreaker's bow has been wrecking me. Swords now gain more heavy ammo from the heavy ammo crates on the wall in Gambit, now 12, up from 6. And with swords also getting a buff in PvE, this one's going to be interesting. Fix an issue where sometimes one team's invasion portal would not open. Fix an issue where sometimes the wrong team would be credited for defeating the Ascendant Primeval. That's a hell of a bug right there. You know what I mean? Just a big surprise. Increase the spawn rate of Ascendant Primeval Servitor. Thank God. We need it. I have not seen that meatball, but once the Gambit ship and Sparrow are no longer guaranteed drops, and they also added quitter protection. Fix an issue where matchmaking would sometimes result in players being kicked from Gambit matches, thus triggering quitter penalties. Quitter penalties have now been re-enabled. Players will now receive 2 warnings before they are suspended from Gambit. Players will not be immediately suspended though on the first match of the day if they quit a match the night before. Not really sure what the hell that means. Maybe, you know, there's like a certain time frame that once you reach it, if you happen to quit 2 games in a row, you're good still. Now the suspension time has been increased to 30 minutes. So fellas, be careful when you quit. I hope they do something about people that AFK in the back as well. Now some other general stuff. Fix an issue where players could play the Strike the Corrupted with a 6-player fire team. I didn't even know you could do that. Okay, moving on. Items and economy. Exotic duplicate weighting. When a player receives an exotic, we now take into account all exotics the player has found and weight them against exotics they have yet to acquire. This lowers the player's chances of receiving exotics that they already own. Good. Exotics that the player does not yet own are individually weighted much higher than the duplicate exotics. When receiving duplicate exotics, the player is more likely to earn armor pieces as these have randomly rolled perks. Good. Thank God. They also removed all of these quest-related exotics from the loot pool. Now going forward, Masterwork cores are now going to be renamed to Enhancement cores. This is just a name change, guys. Enhancement cores, though, will now be awarded by Scrapper bounties and 6 of the Spider's weekly bounties. So hit up Spider's bounties, guys. And they have a chance to drop exotics. Some other general stuff, guys, before we end this. Banshee 44 now accepts 25 gunsmith materials. It originally, I think, was 10. They removed the hold time for Spider's material exchange interactions, so you can run out of legendary marks even faster. Increase the stack size of ghost fragments from 10 to 20. Reduce the shader dismantle from 1 second to 0.25. Fix an issue where the Secret Victories emblem was using the wrong tracker description. It now correctly displays as Ascended Chest looted. The requirements for the Queen's Bounty Purification Ritual have been clarified and now lists the target as Abyssal Champions instead of Sword-Bearing Knights. Raid Challenge bounties now rotate in a fixed, round-robin fashion. Nightfall unique rewards will drop more consistently. The longer players go without a unique drop, the higher their chances of unique rewards on their next Nightfall completion. Alright boys, so anyone that needs a horror story or a mind bender, get ready to farm. The chance resets once a player receives any Nightfall unique reward. So the moment you get a reward, yeah. Honestly, what I think I would try to do is go into a Nightfall, do the cheese over and over again where you suicide at the end. Don't get a reward because I'm pretty sure that still counts as a Nightfall completion. Then go into the Nightfall that you desire to get loot from and boom, you should get the reward. That sounds good in theory. I don't know if it'll work. So fellas, that is Sandbox 2.0.5. We are going to be going through all of these things today. I'm pretty sure the first thing we're going to tackle is Wish Ender. I want to see what this bow is. Is it still butt cheeks? I don't know. And then after that, we'll probably move on to some other things. I still don't have malfeasance on my own account, so I might have to jump on somebody else's account and get it. I play so much Gambit, I can't believe I still haven't got Meatball to spawn again. But who knows? He might actually spawn for me today. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching. And as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.